like to have aphasia and live with it?
It's difficult sometimes, and sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it's difficult because I have my words in my head, but I don't produce them that way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Good evening and welcome to Austin Speech Lab's 12th annual One Word at a Time. Hope you all are well and staying healthy. We have an inspirational and fun evening planned for tonight. 3 of our stroke survivors, Arturo, Haley, and Bob, will share their journeys post-stroke. We have a special guest appearance from Ray Benson, musician and frontman of Asleep at the Wheel. Our event will be closing with our stroke survivors singing for us tonight. We're so grateful you joined us. I want to say a special thank you to the presenting sponsor, the Nelson Poet Foundation, and to all the sponsors that made stroke language recovery possible. We appreciate your continued support and generosity, especially during these challenging times. This event would not have happened if not for the tireless effort from our development team, Danelle Kemp, Christy Oliver, and the entire fundraising committee. Thank you. The event is so special for 3 reasons. First, May is the National Stroke Awareness Month. I'm so happy and proud to recognize and celebrate all the hard work of the stroke survivors. If you have a loved one or a friend who is a stroke survivor, tonight I ask you, please look at them and let them know how proud you are of them. Their perseverance and motivation inspires us and challenges us to think outside the box at Austin Speech Labs. Second, we would like this event not only to be inspirational, but educational as well, so that you recognize the signs of stroke, understand that stroke recovery happens way beyond insurance, and know that this is available right here in Austin. Third, this is our big annual event to raise funds to help stroke survivors receive intensive speech therapy for as long as they need it. Last year was our first virtual event. Over 480 donors from across the country helped us raise $565,000. Your donations helped us enable to enroll 429 clients and provide over 14,000 hours of stroke intensive speech therapy. Stroke survivors like Hunter Abel, Ethan Baker, Frida Swenson returned to work. Our first graduate, Bill Hernser, just published a book. Zach Northcutt started his own YouTube channel where he teaches us how to cook with one hand. With intensive therapy and hard work, stroke survivors like Robert, Chris, James, Julie are able to make their doctor appointments and talk to their kids. Today, for the first time after years of hard work, Tom Leonardis picked up that phone to call and wish me best for the event tonight. That's a huge milestone. And Casey Gwynn, Liz Keith, Mark Sutton, Candace Barrow are reading sentences aloud after years of hard work, of relearning the alphabet and the sounds of the letters and the words. These tasks might appear simple to you, but they take immense practice, years and years of repetition, and so much support for our stroke survivors. The stroke survivors that I just mentioned represent many that you've helped last year at Austin Speech Labs. Everyone that donated and supported, thank you for making the difference. This year, in addition to our wonderful sponsors, we have 4 generous donors that came forth and challenged us with a $100,000 match. Lucy Bain Johnson and Ian Turpin, Live Oak Gives, Carolyn and Jack Long, and the Nelson Poet Foundation. So now, more than ever, we need your support. Because of the pandemic, many stroke survivors' families have lost their jobs. We are offering more discounts to our clients. Our volunteers' numbers decreased because it's difficult to provide adequate supervision online. And we hired new therapists so stroke survivors can continue their hard work to reach their full potential, the full potential that only stroke survivors and their caregivers know, not the insurance companies. Our stroke survivors give 150% effort each day, year after year, and their caregivers are working round the clock handling all the additional tasks while providing support to their loved one. The Austin Speech Labs board, donors, volunteers, and staff are here constantly providing the support by giving their time, donations, and effort so stroke survivors can continue to receive affordable intensive speech therapy. To all of you that are watching us today and to our first-time guests, I hope that as you listen to our speakers, you will understand their journeys post-stroke. If you're touched by our speakers and our cause, please consider donating and help us reach our goal so stroke survivors can do simple tasks that we take for granted. Make those doctor appointments, talk to their kids, have conversation with their loved ones, and return to work one word at a time. Thank you, and I hope.
Nomás dígame poquito de lo que está pasando allí.
En febrero del 2016, estaba en mi casa. Ya me iba a levantarme para alistarme para ir al trabajo. Y desperté muy confundido y no sabía qué día era. Desperté a mi esposa y sentía ansiedad y me faltaba el aire. Salí a la calle y yo sabía que algo me estaba pasando. Pensando lo que yo pensaba, no lo podía hablar. Entré de nuevo a mi casa y le dije a mi esposa, mira lo que me está pasando. Ella me dijo, ¿qué tienes? Le dije, no puedo hablar. No sé qué me está pasando. Mi esposa le habló a una vecina y ella me dijo que fuéramos al hospital. Y le habló a la ambulancia. Estuve en el hospital 4 días. Lo que podía decir es solo sí y no. He recibido terapia del habla en Austin Speech Lab. He podido regresar al trabajo de busboy y preparador. Me han ayudado a hablar mejor con mis compañeros de trabajo y mi familia. Mi meta es estar en un solo trabajo fijo y poder ayudarles a mis hijos en sus tareas por las tardes. Gracias. Por favor, donen a Austin Speech Lab para ayudar a personas como yo. Gracias.
Hi, my name is Haley. I had a stroke on May 21st, 2019. We had a K graduation, and I was taking with the kids, and I had taking pictures with the kids. My head started killing me, so I told the teaching aide to go to the playground with the kids. I went to the nurse and I got to a Tylenol and I laid down. My coworker, Ashley, came to check on me, and after that, I really don't remember. I knew I was in the hospital, but I don't remember why. My mom, Sarah, and Ashley came were talking late at night, and then were laughing about something. Hearing me made me feel like I was on the joke. After the past 2 years, I have been going to Austin Speech Labs, Rehab Without Walls, Texas Neuro Rehab, Spiro, and OCBT Vision Therapy. Also, I have been working with Texas Workforce and getting back to work. I really have been busy. Austin Speech Lab helps me get better. I think it takes a lot of repetition, and then it clicks. They teach me reading, writing, math, and other things, and then I try it again by myself. Then really it helps me learn. I would love to teach again, but first I start as a teaching aide. Later, I would love to go to a master's in SPED. I love special education because then they are different, and so am I. I think I really could help. Thank you again, and please donate to Austin Speech Labs.
Hi, I'm Lynn. I'm Haley's mom, advocate. I want to say former caregiver because she's so good at everything now. I remember getting the call back in 2019 that Haley was on her way to the hospital, and I had a long drive from Houston to Austin. I made it just before they took her into surgery, which was 7 hours long. So I didn't get to see her before that. So it was just a really hard, long day. And when I finally got to see her, she was, unconscious and had a feeding tube in, and it was just really scary to see what happened. And she couldn't speak. She couldn't move her legs. She couldn't move anything. We were in the ICU for 9 days. While we were in there, one of our neurosurgeons said, "Call Austin Speech Labs now." And I'm like, "What is that?" And we didn't know anything. And so we did, and got her enrolled in September. He goes, "You probably won't get enrolled until September, but do it now so she can start." And that was the best advice that anyone gave us that day, because, during that rest of the time for the summer, when Haley got to Austin Speech Lab, she couldn't even say her name and couldn't even remember how to say her address. And so this intensive speech therapy that she received from there has been a lifesaver for us, and has helped her get to where she is today. So all of our lives have changed immediately when this happened. And now we are here in Austin, and we are so thankful for Austin Speech Labs. I wish y'all would please donate, because this organization does fantastic work, and a lot of volunteering and a lot of help for the caregivers like us. We have a caregivers group that they help us with, which, is so an amazing thing, because we get to talk about things that we're all going through, and we're all in the same boat. So it really helps support the caregivers as well. So yes, please donate to Austin Speech Labs. We wouldn't be here today without them, and with all y'all's generous donations from all the years. So thank you very much, and have a great night.
Just anything that you see, try to say what it is or what they're doing.
Can I punch? I'm sorry. Can I use the?
You can point and say the word, but I won't be able to see you pointing. But if that helps you, go for it.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, He's panic. Gosh.
Just any
Yeah,
words. What's
the dog.
this?
There's a dog.
There you go.
I was at home when I had my stroke. My wife knew something was wrong, and she took me to the hospital. I left 3 days later on my own power. In many ways, I was very lucky. My only problem was I could not talk or write, but that was a very big problem. Before I had my stroke, I was an attorney for almost 40 years. I was also helping my fraternity in Texas. I could not do either job. Therefore, I had to retire from the practice of law, and I had to resign from my post with my fraternity. When I left the hospital, I knew what I wanted to say, but I could not form the words or write. The therapists at Austin Speech Labs taught me my sounds again. And then short words, and then longer words, and finally sentences. I'm getting better, but I know I have a long way to go, one word at a time. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I am Dina Jansen, a longtime supporter and volunteer at Austin Speech Labs, and I am so excited to be here with you now for this Fund a Need portion of the event. But first, we have to stop and thank our incredible client speakers, Arturo, Haley, and Bob, for sharing not only your story, but your courage. We are so thankful that you shared those with us tonight. But I also want to take a moment and thank our resilient sponsors tonight, Casey Gwynn and family, Catherine Lou Casey and Tucker Groendike, and Casey and Scott O'Hare. I also would like to thank our Determination sponsors, Jeff and Bonita Garvey, Robert and Donna Hollingsworth, and Live Oak Venture Partners. The support of you as sponsors is greatly appreciated. But this is the time that we come together, those of us that are all virtually gathered. We can't wait for the day we can do this in person again, but that we come together and fund a need. Your contributions, what I like to call investments, support the important work of Austin Speech Labs. And as you have heard, we are excited again to remind you and announce that we have a $100,000 match challenge tonight, which means that your donations will be matched dollar for dollar by a group of amazing Austin Speech Labs supporters. So please let me share a huge thank you with those match contributors real quick. Lucy Baines Johnson and Ian Turpin, Live Oak Gives, Carolyn and Jack Long, and the Nelson Puett Foundation. Thank you so much. And so we're here to ask for your help, those of you that are with us tonight, whether you're a first-time joiner of the event or a long-time donor and supporter, we need your help to reach our goal of raising $200,000 for stroke survivors. And you can make your donation by simply clicking the Donate Now button on the event page or at donate.onecause.com Austin Speech Labs. But first, let's watch this short behind the scenes video of Austin Speech Labs that highlights the types of therapy that your gifts will support. And remember, don't forget, your gift will go twice as far because of our match challenge. So let's watch.
Hello. Good morning, Stephanie.
Hey,
Hi, David.
how are you?
It's bingo, Barbara Bingo.
Yeah.
How much did it cost?
Good. I like that you're thinking about that.
Yeah.
1.5 years ago.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, it gets better.
Yeah. When did you have your stroke?
I had it over a year ago.
Oh.
Just a little over a year ago.
Okay.
And mine was due to an aneurysm.
Hang on.
New shoes.
Good job, Liz. Show me. Buh.
But.
Nice.
All right. You.
See, you got this.
You know what you got on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
When I know the time is right for me, I'll cross the stream.
Isn't the work that they are doing amazing? Before we remind you of a few more things, I want to tell you one more thank you that we have for another resilient sponsor, Brian and Adria Sheff. Thank you so much. I neglected to mention that in the first time. But after we've watched that video and seen the services that Austin Speech Labs provides, it really, to me, if we had to ask why fund a need, the answer is really simple. Because your donations tonight will make stroke recovery accessible and give stroke survivors and their families, their caregivers, a chance to rebuild their lives. So to make investing in Austin Speech Labs work easy, we have created several fund a need levels, which I'm going to walk you through real quickly. For $3,500, that helps provide critical funding for Austin Speech Labs programs, operations, and research. For $2,500, that provides 2 boot camps of affordable speech and cognitive therapy for one stroke survivor. But each of those camps is 8 weeks long. So that's 16 weeks of therapy. For $1,000, that provides for 1 boot camp of group therapy for 2 stroke survivors. At $500, that provides 1 hour of intensive individual therapy for 16 stroke survivors. $300 provides 1 half-hour individual music therapy session for 20 stroke survivors. So for $300, you can help create a choir. For $100, that helps provide an evaluation for speech therapy services for a client in need. And the fun part is when you go to donate, you can also select a contribution of your choosing. But let me slow down for just a second and say thank you to all of you who have already donated so far. But I do want to highly encourage any of you that have not yet donated that tonight is the night. And remember, you're doubling your contribution because of our amazing $100,000 match contributors. So tonight, can I ask for your help to make stroke recovery accessible and give these stroke survivors like Arturo, Haley, and Bob and their loved ones, their caregivers, give them that chance to rebuild their lives. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause. We're going to stop and give you 30 seconds, and we ask that you donate now. And remember, You can select one of the Fund a Need levels, or you can choose your own donation. Simply click Donate Now on the event page, or head to donate.onecause.com/Austin Speech Labs. Go donate now, or you give you 30 seconds. We'll see you in a bit. Friends, thank you so much. I am so excited to share that I am getting a running tally of how much we have raised, and it's hopped up as they've given me the updates, but right now we have raised over $91,000 for the Austin Speech Labs, the stroke community, and their caregivers. We are so excited and want to say thank you, but please don't stop now. Continue to donate throughout the rest of the event. Share it online, send the link to all your friends, and tell them that their help matters. The work that Austin Speech Labs is doing matters, and we must call and bring those in that we can to help Austin Speech Lab bring the stroke survivors and their caregivers the power of hope and connection, one word at a time. And now it is my absolute honor and privilege to welcome our special guest speaker, Ray Benson, musician and frontman of Asleep at the Wheel. Take it away, Ray.
Howdy, folks. I'm Ray Benson, and I'm here for the Austin Speech Labs for this wonderful event presented to you by Nelson Pewitt Foundation. For all the folks there, thank you for this. And donate to the Austin Speech Labs for all the wonderful work they do in town for stroke victims. You know, my mom had many strokes and had aphasia, and she had a master's degree in reading, remedial reading, and after the stroke, forgot how to read. The great Randy Travis, the great country singer, is going through the same thing. Had numerous strokes and has aphasia. And the one good thing is that he's been able to sing again. One of the strange things about stroke, as you all know, is that sometimes music really connects where other things do not. So thank you for allowing me to be a part of this, because the Austin Speech Labs is one of those important things, little known perhaps, but so needed for those of us who have friends, loved ones, and relatives who suffer from stroke. Here's a little song I wrote. Beware of stormy nights, neon lights, dogs that bite. Good to those you love, God above, don't push and shove your way around. Every time you do, you lose a little piece of you. Be kind to little ones, dogs that run, your friends who pun. Take heed to those who pray for peace each day. It's still the way to heaven yet. Every time you give, you get. So give a little piece of you. I know a little about a lot of things, that is true. One thing I know, what you give comes back to you. Beware of stormy nights, neon lights, dogs that bite. Be good to those you love, God above, Don't push and shove your way around. Every time you do, you lose a little piece of you. Just give a little piece of you.
Good evening. I'm Shelly Adair, and I'm one of the co-founders here at Austin Speech Labs. I just want to start off by thanking Ray Benson. You are a legend and such an asset to our community. We can't thank you enough for sharing your words and your music. In fact, your song, A Little Piece, inspired the theme of the evening, putting the pieces back together for our stroke survivors. I have to say that in June of 2020, things weren't looking so good around here. Probably in your lives as well. It's like somebody had come in and just taken a few pieces of our puzzle and hid them. We had to pause our research. We weren't able to use our volunteers or our grad students. And so we weren't able to provide the intense therapy that we believe is so vital to stroke recovery. But you know what? Our team, they dug deep and they have worked so hard this whole year. They put their heads down and they created a great space for our clients to continue to thrive in this environment. And our clients and their caregivers, they persevered yet again through another challenge. You guys showed up, you logged on, and you are now diehard Zoomers. And to our sponsors, even when the future was unclear, maybe even your future was unclear, you had our backs. And you continue to donate. So how rewarding is it to see the outcomes? We're back doing our research. We have our grad students back in the office, and we're able to use a few volunteers. And this boot camp, we have more clients than ever before enrolled in our therapy. And to top it off, we got to hear from 3 of them tonight. Arturo, you blew me away tonight. I haven't seen you in over a year. And I was just gobsmacked about how fluent you were and how easily you said your speech. Congratulations. And to Bob, a prominent attorney who just a few months ago had to retire from 2 of his passions of practicing law and work with his fraternity. At your evaluation, you were barely putting words together. It was clear you had the thoughts, you just couldn't get those words out. But tonight, your speech was so eloquent and articulate. And to Haley, who almost 2 years ago to this day suffered a massive stroke right after seeing her kindergartners walk across the stage. The very thing she spent that school year teaching her kids was robbed from her right there in her classroom. And a year ago, she had another setback. Her mom spent the night in the parking lot outside of the hospital, hoping and praying that things would be okay. And at that point, Haley couldn't even tell you the letters to her name. But tonight, she not only read that speech, she wrote that speech. I heard another thing. Today, she got to go back to her school for the first time. She sent me a picture of one of her children doing just this giant bear hug on her. She was so happy to see her back. And Haley was able to help and volunteer at her school today for the first time. So hats off to you for all of your hard work. It is truly paying off. And to everyone here tonight, know that your donations matter. And when you give, you're putting the pieces of someone's life back together. Before we say goodnight, I'm going to check in with the numbers. It looks like we are currently at $118,000. So keep on giving. We have until, let me see, the match will continue through the month of May. So through the entire month of May, every dollar that you donate to this organization will be matched. We're really hoping to get $200,000. So we're at 118. Keep on giving. And I want you to stick around because we're about to get a very special treat. Our clients with our music therapist, Bree Rocha, are gonna end the night singing Ray Benson's A Little Piece. Thank you so much for your time. Good night.
a little piece.
I know a little about a lot of things, that is true. One thing I know, true love will see you through.
Thank you.
What you give comes back to you.
Give a little piece of you. Thank you.
Of you.
I want to say that keep doing what you're doing. You have a service heart. You're helping people in ways that they can't even describe, but you help me, and I appreciate that. I appreciate it immensely.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.